Welcome, everyone. We are here today, not mourning, but embedding and sharing our communion sentiment towards Julia Alisas. Julia was a devout daughter, a diligent person, and an understanding friend. Julia told me countless of times that her mother, Minerva, ingrained her a love of obtaining knowledge. Her mother read her classic works when she was young and fostered her curiosity. Julia always loved rereading John Milton's Paradise Lost. Minerva loved to paint, and so did Julia. She would ask a million questions of her mother's work, from the placement of lines or the purpose of the colors. Julia loved to provide a plethora of emotions in her lines, in her colors, and in her shades. To her mother, Julia was her twin. When Julia got older, she furnished her loving mother with emotional support when she got her divorce from her father. They became sisters, confidants, and best friends. Julia loved art very much, but I do recall a time and a place and a reason she fostered misgivings towards the horrendous abstracts. We partook of a local artist gallery in our college. The artist just used oil paints and plastered it all over the canvas. Julia was frustrated that people were willing to pay good money for something that felt lazy to her. She would converse my ear off on how much she disliked abstract while eating some Italian ice on our way to the train stop. Of course, I was always a clumsy one and dropped it, and she laughed out of discontent. Like, she became happy. Julia was always a precocious child. This very factor allowed her to chase after her dream of being a neuroscientist. She would spend many weekends wearing her pajamas all day, studying hard, and surgically attached to her Hello Kitty mug. She went to New York University, graduated top 10% of her class. She loved to help people around her. She was the head of many clubs during our years of college. This was how we met. She met Marco, Julia, Carolyn, and myself. She walked for AIDS. She marched for dimes. She walked to fight breast cancer. She pushed us to care about others, so we followed suit and walked with her. She once told me that she wanted to alleviate the suffering of those who are born with emotional difficulties. She wanted to find the cure for mental illness. She loved people and wanted to change the world. Her eyes were gateways to friendship and understanding. If you had a personal problem and felt the world was unfair, all she had to do was smile, and you were reminded that there was always a tomorrow. She would dispense her wisdom. When we came to her about relationships and family problems, she always made time for us. Let us remember and embed her into our hearts and souls to remind us to cherish everybody that we love, every moment we breathe, and to never lose hope. Finally, I'll leave you with this line from Paradise Lost that describes what she meant to me. Under his forming hands, a creature grew, man-like, but different sex, so lovely, fair, that what seemed fair in all the world seemed now mean, or in her summed up, in her contained. In her looks, which from the time infused sweetness into my heart, unfelt before, and into all things from her air inspired, the spirit of love and amorous delight. She disappeared and left me dark. I awakened to find her, or for her ever to deplore, her loss, and other pleasures abjure. When out of hope, behold her, not far off. Such as I saw her in my dreams, adorned with what all earth or heaven could bestow to make her amiable. Oh, she came, led by her heavenly Maker, though unseen, and guided by his voice, nor ununiformed, of nuptial sanctity and marriage rites. Grace was in her steps, heaven in her eyes, in every gesture, dignity, and love. May she rest in our hearts forever. Thank you.